In this tutorial you will know how to set up a Django project from scratch, create super user for admin panel, building database table and connecting to your app. Now it's time for us to create some tables and return some value. Key and then its value. Let's see. Dummy view takes 0 position allowed, but 1 was given. Okay, it's accept the request parameter which I haven't gave. Hopefully it will work now. Let's see. Object has no attribute headers, so we will be sending JSON response. Let's import it from our Django HTTP module, django.http, and we'll import JSON response like this. It will be inside curly bracket, and then we will provide the status of it. Let's visit it and let's see. Yeah, now we can see we are able to display the data. Now we need some real data, and for that we will be creating some models. And as we have post, so let's create the post model. Then model post will have title, and title is a character field. With max length of 50. Can have tag, so let's create the tag as well. Tag table, and it will only have tag will only have just title. So we have to run migration so that Django know that we are going to create this table. So for that we will again use the command make migrations, and if you open this migration folder and the first file, we are right now ready to create the database table. So to create the database table we will be using migrate command. So manager.py migrate. So our migration file ran and it's applied. So now as we have created the tables, now we have to register them inside our admin, and then we will be able to see the tables inside our Django admin dashboard. So let's just register it. So we will be using this admin dot register, and then simply we will name the table name, which is post. Let's import it from the post v2 dot apps dot post dot models. We have our post model. Let's import tag as well. Tag sorry, I made a silly mistake. It will be admin dot site dot register. Now let's visit again and refresh the page. Yeah, now we are able to see the post. Now let's access all our posts and then we will serve the data from this view. So post, then post. Let's first import the model from post v2 apps, then post app, then its models, and then we will import the post. Now we will access all the data. Post.object.all. Now we have to make it as list data. Let's store it in a variable list post. And save equal to false. As now it is serving post, let's make it post view, and in URL let's change the dummy view to post view. Let's go to this URL and check. Okay, it's showing empty list. Let's just add a new post. Post 1. Save it. The post got added. Let's see the URL again, this URL, and let's refresh it. Let's access its value properties, value method, and then try to display it. Let's see. Yeah, now we are able to display the data properly. Also, if you see, when we are seeing the list of all posts, it's showing like post object 1, but we can change it, and to do that we just have to override the --str method. So let's do that. Let's --str. So rather than sending the super, we will make it use a string, and inside that we will use self dot id, and then we will use the title property of itself. Let's save it and let's visit and refresh it. Now you can see we are able to see the title of the post along with its ID. So let's do it for tag as well. So if later when we are dealing with tags, we will be able to see its title. Now it's time for us to create view sets using Django REST framework. Import the model view set from REST framework.viewSets. We will import model view set. We will create a class with the name of post model view set, which will use model view set, and the query set for the model will be post dot object dot on. Also, our model need serializer class to serialize the data. So let's create a file. Inside this, let's name it serializers.py. Inside this, we will create post serializer from REST framework model serializer, and this model serializer we will use here. And a serializer class always takes a meta class, and it takes the model which need to be serialized. Let's import the model. And also we have to mention all the fields we want to display. Serializer, we will import post serializer, and now in serializer class we will use post serializer. And now it's time for us to use this view set here in the URL. As view we are using it. Template doesn't exist. Post. Let's see what is the issue now. Oh, mistake. We are using REST framework, but we haven't mentioned it inside our installed apps, so we have to do it. So let's make another variable. Let's call it downloaded packages. So the download packages is REST framework. Let's add it, and now we will also add the downloaded packages. It should work now. Let's refresh the page. Yes, so it's working. So we'll use DefaultRouter, which come from Django REST framework. Let's import it. REST framework dot router import DefaultRouter. Now we will register some URLs to it. Register. This, and then we will register post view. So we will not use the old method. Now we will use new method, which is path. Then we have to include it. Let's first import the include from path. Include. Now we have to include all the URLs of default router. Yes, so it's working. So on get request we can see this list of data, and on the same URL we can post new data to it like this. And if we refresh the page, let's not submit it, let's go back and refresh the page. Now you can see there is 2 record, and if we want to see a particular record like ID2, you can just pass it here and we can see particular data, and we can also delete it like this. And if we go back and refresh, there is 1 data left. So you can see all the CRUD operation is handled just by this view set, which is model view set, and the URL default router. So as you can see, Django REST framework is really powerful when it comes about creating APIs quickly.